Welcome to LASHY Hour. I'm Lizzie, your host, a retired cocktail waitress now running multiple businesses. My mission is to stop you from playing small and help you build the life that you've been dreaming of by teaching you everything that I've learned. Consider me the Lash sister you never knew you needed. Expect lots of tea spilling and martini shaking on all of the juiciest tips, tricks, and industry secrets. Hey babe, happy Friday. Welcome back to LASHY Hour. If you are new, hello, hi. My name is Lizzie and I'm your host. Thank you so much for spending a part of your Friday with me, whether you are watching live today or if you're catching up and binging a few episodes. I appreciate you so much. If you are here watching me on YouTube today, thank you so much. I see like the few 20 of you that watched my first episode and I appreciate it so much. I have not posted it. I haven't talked about the fact I had a YouTube channel. I did a little sneak peek on my Instagram stories the other day just to ask if you thought I maybe hired my first employee, maybe I started my YouTube channel, and so many of you thought I hired my first employee, which was such a lovely compliment. But right now, that's not the journey. But today I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm ready for an exciting episode. I told you in the last episode, I'm not always going to look cute if you're watching on YouTube, okay? Like, trying my best. I really don't go out much, so I'm in like athleisure or loungewear 99% of the time, but I wanted to show up for you like that because that is what life is. Like right now I literally have 2 nails missing. I don't look the cutest, so I just appreciate you being here and finding what I share valuable, and that's all that matters to me. So I hope you're okay. I hope that business is booming for you. If you need some help, you need anyone to chat to, my Instagram handles are at @LashSisLizzie. I'm always happy to chat with you if you need some like one-on-one time or a very like personalized question. I also love it when you guys share me on your stories. It helps me grow and I love it so much. So I am going to keep it short and sweet today because I am so insanely busy. I have so many episodes I have to record. I have so much to keep up with. I have my other business now, and my brother is getting married next weekend in Nova Scotia. So I'm like trying to get everything ready now because when I'm traveling, it's going to be so much harder for me to kind of like keep up with this. So today's episode is going to be about branding. What branding is, why you need it, how to be good at branding, and what you need to know to do it well within your business. I get these questions so much, so I really wanted to break it down at the very, very basics for you today. I feel like a lot of people get really stressed out with trying to make things look really pretty, trying to just like go above and beyond. What I have learned in the industry is your logo is not everything. You might think that your logo for your business is the number one thing that you need that's going to set you apart and make your business successful. No, the answer is you're wrong. Let me share with you today what I feel like you need to be doing if you want to master the branding in your business. So whether or not right now you feel a little lost within your branding, you're like, I don't really know what my colors are. I don't really know what branding is or what the brand that I have for my business is, or you may be a brand new business and you're like, oh, I need to do what? Like, what do you want me to do here? So these things can apply to both of you. And even if you love your branding, maybe I can like give you some tips today to like kind of help you even get even deeper in your business, maybe like fine tune a few of your things. So, okay, the first thing I wanted to talk about with branding is the first and foremost, like the absolute solid building blocks, the foundations of your brand is always about how your business makes other people feel. So when they come to your brand, do they feel really cheeky and naughty? When they come to your brand, do they feel cared for, nourished? Do they feel safe? When they come to your brand, do they feel excited and inspired and lit up? Like those 3 things are very different emotions. So you have to figure out, what do you want for your business? Like, do you want it to be fun and exciting? Do you want it to be calm and relaxing? Do you want it to feel like a little bit cheeky and we kind of like break the rules, we swear, we do all those fun things? What is your brand going to be? So like I said, it has to have a genuine emotion towards it. Like when people come to you, they have to feel that certain way. This goes for how you will also be remembered. Your branding is how people remember you. And again, it goes back to that emotion. How are people remembering you? Again, is it like those emotions that you want to be remembered by? Or if it's not, you really have to fine tune and figure out who your customer is and who your clients are to figure out how you can create your branding for them. Because number one, if you already have clients, completely changing your brand, like if I painted my room black and just started being very like moody and kind of gothic, maybe my clients wouldn't feel aligned with me anymore. Maybe they wouldn't want to continue coming with me or coming to me. So again, it's one of those things where you don't want to kind of go completely off the map if you already have clients. Again, like a fun rebrand can be an amazing thing to boost your business, give you a new boost of life as well, but you can't go completely different so that your customers feel lost and confused. If you are at the beginning of your business and you don't have a branding right now, this is super exciting for you. Like you could do so much with who you want to service. Like who is your dream client? I talk about it in other episodes, but I like to call them my soulmate clients. Who are the people that think that we are twin flames? Who are the clients that think like they found me and we are meant to be? Who are the people that think they like manifested your business? Because it's everything they desire in a business. Like those are the clients that you need to attract. So if you don't have any customers or clients right now and you're just building your business and you don't have your branding yet either, what I need you to do is like sit down and figure out like who your soulmate client is. Like, do they like pop culture? Are they girly? Are they more moody and more gothic? They like more of like a vibe. Are they like into neutrals? Do they like soft textures, or do they like lots of mirrors and silver and things like that? Like you have to figure out like what do they like to do in their free time? What are their personality traits? Where's like their favorite restaurant to go to? Again, like why do they like to go there? Is it because it's moody, it's vibey? Is it because it's bright and cheerful? Like you have to figure out like what your dream or soulmate client likes to do, what she likes to follow on social media, and then really create everything in your business for her. So like I talked about with branding, like your colors and your mood and your vibe and the emotions all have to correlate so that that client is like a lifelong client for you. This has to be cohesive through your entire business. So your branding is not just your logo. Like I said, it's not just like throwing your brand colors in your logo and that's it and it stops there. No, this goes through literally from A to Z within your business. It goes from how you respond back to DMs. It goes to how you talk to your clients in your space. How are people booking an appointment? How are people checking out? How are people feeling when they look at your social media presence? Like, do you have personal branding? Is it just a salon and other girls that you have working for you? How do they feel when they go on your website? Like, you can't have all of these things that are such a huge disconnect from everything. Your social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram have to be an extension from your website and your branding. And again, like your branding is the umbrella and everything falls within that umbrella. So again, like how you talk, your voice, do you do emojis? Do you use emojis in your brand? Do you not use emojis in your brand? Do you swear in your brand? Do you like, again, like what are the emotions behind your brand? Because again, like these are the things that you need to make your clients feel a certain way. Again, because to keep lifelong clients is building relationships with them. It's getting to know them. It's making them feel a certain way. Like you need to make them feel so good in your space and in your presence and within your business so that they never want to look for another lash tech ever again. Now you've kind of got the, okay, I understand how this all works and how all this correlates, how it has to be the same. Maybe now you're like, okay, like now what do I do? So again, like everything has to stay cohesive. So whatever you have your brand with your online presence, with like your booking site, your website, your social media platforms, also have to be the same within your studio or your space. So you can't pick pink and black for inside of your studio and then have white and gold on your social media platforms. Again, think about like taking pictures in your space and putting them on your website, putting them on your social media platforms. Those pictures have to look like they belong there. Otherwise, it's just going to look so messy. It's going to look like there's a huge disconnect and that you're like, is this the same business? Like, what does she do here? Is this her space? Does she have a different space? Like, maybe she's just rebranded and she hasn't caught up yet. Again, it's like these things you have to make sure that these things flow across everything. So going to colors, you are allowed to pick as many colors as you want. If you want 2 colors, if you want 5 colors. For instance, lash makers, huge business in our industry, is the baby blue. If you then think about Maven Artistry, again, who is like a huge educator in the States, she loves color so much that I could probably list 7 brand colors for her. But when I see those colors and I see like a rainbow vibe color, I know it's Maven Artistry. Again, if I see the baby blue, I know it's Lash Makers. And that's what you need your clients to feel when they see you post online. The same colors throughout. So again, if your space is pink and white, your online presence has to be pink and white. Because then again, if they are your client and they see your post, they understand that that comes from you without even seeing your handle on that post. The same thing was if they're a new client. If they've talked to you and booked online, when they walk into your space, they need to feel like, I knew this was going to be like this. I knew this was going to happen. I knew what her space looked like, and they feel comfortable rather than walking into a room that's black and they would be like, am I at the right space? Am I at the right, is this the girl I booked with? This is so confusing to me. Keeping those brand colors consistent throughout your entire business. The next thing that you should think about are fonts. What type of fonts do you want to use? Do you want to use, again, like playful fonts? If an emotion behind your brand is playfulness, you should use playful fonts. Like, don't use Times New Roman if your branding and the emotions behind it is like girly and playful and light and just like easy to be in the presence of. You don't want to be going and using like Times New Roman that has like a very structured, very like old-fashioned classic font. You need all these things to, again, feel like they're supposed to be there, feel like they are a part of it. And again, for people to not even think twice about these things you're using. If the colors are all the same, they're not going to be like, oh, she's so consistent with her branding. All of her colors are the same. But for her in her head, it just makes sense. So she likes to be a customer. She likes to continue coming to you without her having to question things, rather than it being on the opposite spectrum for her to be like, this is a very bizarre font. Like, is this the right email? Like, did this come from my lash tech? Because this just doesn't seem like her business. So again, keeping your fonts the same. Fonts, again, you can pick between 3 to 4 fonts. I wouldn't do anything more than that. And again, those fonts have to be used consistently throughout. So like having a title font, having a subtitle font, having a body font for like a paragraph font. I don't want you to pick like 4 different fonts and then use them without intention and use them all over the place, again, to confuse people. Everything you do within your business, everything you do within your branding has to be with intention. Like, there needs to be a thought behind it. I don't want you to just pick random things and just like, what's that quote? Like, throw shit at the walls to see if it sticks. I want you to be so intentional and have so much thought behind why you've picked these things. And then again, like I said, logo is like the last thing that I think you should worry about at this point. I know when I first started my business, I was very much like, logo is the first thing I need. And as I've grown and as I've learned so much about branding, learned so much about business, I've truly learned that the logo is like the last thing that you have to worry about. You will use your logo a couple of times throughout. Like, it's just not something that I think is an essential. Right now in business with social media, I personally think if you have like a personal brand in the sense that you service clients and you're not a product-based business or like a huge salon, if your business is you servicing people, I think that you should have your picture of yourself as your display icon on Instagram or TikTok. I don't think you should be using a logo. And again, like, logos are a whole different thing, like how to create your own logo. There's so much to it and there's so much like psychology behind logos. That's why I don't want you to worry about it so much. I would rather you pick your fonts, pick your colors, stay consistent throughout, and just like build your business that way. Again, because it's like when you create things for social media, whether that be like a carousel or a graphic or like an informational post, you need those fonts there. You need, like, you could put a picture of yourself instead of putting a picture of a logo down there. Again, it's just like so much for you to worry about to start off. I would rather you nail the few things of branding before you do that. So now you've got your branding colors, now you've got your logos, now you need to think about the imagery in your business. If you're going to be sourcing and using some pictures from Pinterest, they need to be the same vibe. You can't go from like super, super dark and moody and gritty, noisy? What do you put? Grain. Oh my goodness, Lizzie. The grain over pictures, how pictures can be really grainy. You can't have like really, really dark, moody, grainy posts and then other ones come in that are super light, super bright. They just don't feel like they align. Again, the same thing with videos. When you're taking content of clients with like photos and videos and things like that, you have to figure out like, you need those to all look very similar. Again, so that when you're posting and I'm flicking through my reels, if I see a reel, I know exactly who it is. For instance, a great example of this is Light Heart Studios or Light Heart Lash. Every time she posts something, she's very angelic. She's very light. It's almost like a little bit blurry, a little bit diffused. The colors are really like soft and subtle. They're not heavily saturated. And she does the same vibe throughout every single piece of content she takes of her clients. Again, so that when I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling through, I've already recognized Lash Makers and Maven Artistry because of their branding colors. And now I'm recognizing Light Heart Lash because of the way that they take photos and the way they take content. Again, like all of these things must correlate in your business so that you can be remembered a certain way by your clients. So think about things, like I said, think about the visuals of your business. That goes down to taking content, that goes down to the colors, the fonts, like the way that people see your business. Think about your voice. Again, like, do you use emojis? Do you swear in your brand? How do you talk to your customers? And then another one I want you to think about too within your brand is values. What does your business stand for? Is your business someone who likes to give back to the community? You love to gift your clients a lot. You like to raise money and donate to certain charities in the area. Are you a brand that thrives off girls support girls and everybody is beautiful in their own way? Some of your values could be similar to how some clothing brands will do like a one size fits all, which I know is controversial in the slightest, but you could do the values of one size doesn't fit all. Everyone's eyes are unique. Everyone's eyes are different. Like I customize your lash maps dependent on your eyes because let me tell you, there's a lot of lash techs out there and you may be listening to be one of them, but a lot of lash techs don't even ask clients what they want. I have clients, I ask like 6 different questions. And when I ask those questions to my clients, they're like, I've never been asked this before, which is shocking in the slightest. But again, like, how am I supposed to know what my client wants? And how am I going to be creating a lifelong client if they just come in, close their eyes, and I start working? Like that could be one of your values. So again, your visuals, your voice, and your values. This is enough information for you to get started. I promise you. I know that this is like a little bit of a quicker episode today, but really with branding, I was like, I want this to be like a no fluff, no BS type of episode. I want to just give you like straight up knowledge and straight up facts for you to take away from this today. Sit down, take a look at your business, audit your own social media, audit your own website, go on there and take a look, like, where do I need to change things? Do things correlate within my business like Lizzie is telling me to? Is everything really intentional behind why I do these things? So really, like I said, give yourself an audit, like look through the things that you would display to a client, put your client glasses on, put your client hat on, and just like view your stuff from a client's perspective and see how you feel about your business. Maybe you're like, yeah, I've nailed my branding. I know exactly what type of branding my business is. Maybe you're sitting there, you're a little bit embarrassed. And maybe you're like, oh, I did not do enough. I didn't know how to brand myself and it just looks really messy now. So take these things. Again, if maybe you're listening in the car today, you're sitting and you're watching whilst eating your dinner, grab a piece of paper and a pen and sit down and take some notes, re-listen to this episode, re-watch this episode, and really take the notes of what I've just said. Because again, I know I can talk fast. I know that I can talk and like literally chit chat and ramble for days, but I really want you to take the most information and the most value from today's episode. So Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I would love it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to build it. And like I said in my last episode, I really want to start doing like vlogs and tutorials. I want to like teach you more and show you more than what just the podcast can do, which is why I wanted to start recording these videos. So thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for rating. Honestly, everything you do does not go unnoticed, and I appreciate it so much. I hope you have the most amazing day. Enjoy your freaking weekend, and I will see you next week, next Friday at Lashy Hour. Bye!